We need some of that home cooking, that barbecue, backyard, front yard, through the house. I want everything from paying around 1 million coins or more. Million coins for a player that is going to struggle to do a roulette. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about that moolah, that bread, that butter, that extra cushion, the dinero. Welcome to Overpriced Center Attacking Midfielders Icon Edition. We're happy to have you. If you're new around these parts, it is free to subscribe. If you could like the video, that would be amazing. Plays a factor into the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to be featured in the next video, at least in this series, we're going to talk about central midfielders, center defensive midfielders. You can drop a comment. And I'm going with the top 5 today because we want to make this a little spicier. I want to give you my selections, my choices of players that I just would not touch for this position if we're looking at the icon scenario. The price tag does not align with the output. Let me give you the criteria. First off, must be an icon. Relatively straightforward. Center attacking midfield as a default position. That means we're not taking guys that plays a striker naturally or as a center mid and you can play them as a cam. Are we on the same page? As a reminder, price versus output. That means if the player is very expensive but his output is some of the best in the game, they're not gonna make the overpriced list. You're paying the upcharge for a premium result. However, if you're making a major investment and it's underwhelming, welcome to being overpriced. And we're only gonna see one player variation. Shall we get this party started? I hope that you're having a lovely day. We're heading into the weekend league made of FIFA gods be on your side. Run up some vibes. We need some of that home cooking, that barbecue, backyard, front yard, through the house. No bathroom break. I have no idea what that means. Welcome to the video. Laurent Blanc, baby version. Just under 1 million coins, and this is perhaps the cheapest price tag or price point that he's been this year since the launch of FIFA 21. And I get asked constantly, what do you think about this foot item, Mike? Overpriced, overrated, I'm not on board with them. He's got limitations, and they're obvious limitations. You don't have the skill moves. You don't have the weak foot. There's no versatility, and from personal experience, I've always been underwhelmed. He has never been someone who dictates what happens in the midfield. I see the stats, we can read them off together. There's good balance statistically outside of what I mentioned with the skill moves and the weak foot. But in game, it doesn't flow. I think they're fraudulent stats. I've always struggled from a positional sense. I've never been impressed, and I do not want to pay this type of upcharge. How can I pay such a premium but not get the technical details? I want everything if I'm paying around 1 million coins or more. If you bought Blanc early on, you were likely paying 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 million coins for a player that is going to struggle to do a roulette or a heel to heel. Even his body feints and his ball rolls don't look as smooth or effortless. Blanc should have been priced at 400 or 500,000 coins max. And even for an 85 overall, that's paying some serious cheddar. Tossing that mozzarella, little Alfredo, that provolone. The easiest phrase to attach to Blanc, in my opinion, is this foot item leaves much to be desired. This is like going to the grocery store, you get yourself a pear, but it's not juicy, it's a stiff pear. Like overcooked pizza. It's still pizza, but is it the same experience? This is dry noodles, soggy cereal. You get the idea. Figo, don't do this to yourself. Overrated, overpriced, over-themed, disappointing. Stat-wise, we can do the read-off. They're not bad. There's a lot of greens there, but 500,000 plus coins? And this is gonna be a theme when talking specifically about icons or very high-rated players. You see stats that jump off the page and you start internalizing and say, I think I can make this work. What's my name? Do you know who I am? Every weekend I show up. I'm the manager of Mediocre Clout FC. And then you get into the game and you say, what was I thinking? The curve's not there, the stamina's not there, the movement's not there. He doesn't score goals. I don't like his finesse shot. I don't like him in a 1v1. He doesn't have iconic status. Lackluster, normal, ordinary. And in this case, Figo has poor FIFA history. And I am a FIFA historian, a true enthusiast, an expert. And I just see players trying to fit Figo into squads. But this is a Pokemon pre-evolution. You're not near the final phase or the final piece of that puzzle. You could do better. Kaká. Now I like his baby. I'll take his prime as well. Either version, sign me up. But the mid tier is the B tier or the C tier. Doesn't have the same characteristics. 600,000 plus coins? And I'm starting off with disclaimers. This is like purchasing a car that's normally pushing that serious horsepower. But this model is actually running with the horses. The explosiveness is not there. The kickback's not there. And his stamina is lower. And you notice that. Especially if you don't have the breakaway speed. You start getting fatigued. Now you're not running near what you were supposed to be at. And you needed him at a max anyway to have a chance. Whether you want that versatility or that variety or that utility option up front. Where are you going to play this Kaká and get the best out of him? Is he a secondary striker? Does he have to be a center attacking mid? Definitely not fast enough to be on the wings. Not at 6'1" where you need to be able to cut inside. Agility has to be on point. Ball point. I'm talking about the pen. It's very pointy. I've always been confused. At what point in Kaká's career was he getting winded early? Because this version of Kaká is in the 70s for stamina. I grew up watching Kaká play. Very influential on my life. At what point did he ever lack stamina? I don't recall watching him play and saying, he's running out of the gas. He's running out of the extra kicker. This man needs a water break. That never ran through my play-by-play. Baggio. I don't like being a broken record, so we could break some windows or wash the windows. Insert a sound effect here of washing. Swag levels on 1,000, but it's just not easy to use Baggio at the higher levels. Comes down to the 4 S's. Speed, stamina, strength, shot power. All lackluster, or at least not good enough, and even more so at a price point. He doesn't end up representing or referencing or relating, apparently we're doing all sorts of alliteration today, with a 93 overall attack-based player. I would love to see Baggio and experience his greatness in the current era of football. On a side note, definitely related, but not necessarily relevant to his virtual pitch performance. Even though I will say, EA's just struggled to have that translation. Baggio's speaking Italian and they're speaking Spanish. There's room for misinterpretation. And I've used Baggio for multiple weekend leagues where I was hoping to receive more of a affordable package actually. For having such a high rated player, I'm thinking maybe I'm getting a decent deal. I'm getting a steal. I was wrong. I was reminded every single match. I had to sub him out at halftime, and if I played against an elite level opposition, Baggio was not present. We're not talking about Christmas. Ronaldinho, please, don't come after me in the comment section. Hear me out. I know this is an unpopular selection. I'm aware, but let's be objective, not even subjective here. If you saw these same statistics and it was not Dinho, one of the world's greatest footballers of all time, perhaps the most influential footballer depending when you were born. I never bought a pair of Nike boots until Dinho, and I just ask you, would you still be this attached? If I presented these stat lines in FIFA even, no picture, we blurred that out, would you pay 1.5 million coins? I don't think you would. This is like buying worn sneakers above retail. This is like buying Gucci just to say it's Gucci. Don't be one of those guys that can only afford the belt. That's all you're wearing. You got no other designer clothing items in your closet. And I'm not gonna count your pockets, but people notice. You're getting the cheapest item. It's like when people bought the money pouch and they wore it on the outside of their pants. If you've seen this look, it's ridiculous. We get it. You own something that's designer. You have a $200 money pouch for your coins. There's nothing player about that. This is gonna go on a side rant that really has nothing to do with Dinho. I can already see the direction that I'm pushing in. I just don't understand those types of choices. It's not a big deal to wear a brand that isn't as expensive, but you at least get the best of the brand. I guess the point that I'm making, Dinho's gonna be expensive regardless. So if you're gonna spend the money, don't go for the 1.5 million Dinho that doesn't really represent himself. Pick any of the other versions, whatever you can afford. Prime Moments, Prime, or the MIDI. All those are good to go. You're actually going to get something special on the virtual pitch. You will be able to replicate Dinho. And his movement, his animations, his execution, very unique because as all of us are aware, throughout history, Dinho was a cover star. Had those custom signature moves. They were captured. The way that he sells a skill move, lurks to the left, lurks to the right, the delivery, handmade, hand-tailored. These are the facts. I appreciate you, Dinho, but I'm just not as interested in the 89 overall variation of this foot item. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed everything, make sure to drop a like on the video. I really appreciate all of you for the constant support. We're uploading daily. You want gameplay, twitch.tv/Mike LaBelle, and I have a lot more content coming out ASAP. ASAP. Float them comments. We'll have that back and forth discussion. See if you agree, if you disagree. But we're coming in bold. We are not soft on this channel. Stay beautiful, my friends.